on the minds of most businessmen today?
All right, definitely Parkway C, and this is what Nanekuya, Abrampa, and others are in Parliament to give us updates. I'm particularly impressed about how they came in with some details about it. But the 30 minutes break, obviously, that is what we're all wondering. And maybe are we to say that all the business bodies that are not in Parliament is because probably there's that disinterest, probably, or they were just not invited, or they are just not showing any form of enthusiasm. Parkway C, this and many other interesting details are what we are looking for later in the day. All right, so we'll talk about this in our subsequent bulletins, but when we come back, we're getting down with the latest updates in business. Let's relate to some labor issues now. Tallow plans to lay off some workers due to the falling crude oil prices. We'll be getting a reaction from the Tallow office and being told that the communications and investor relations manager of Tallow, Benis Natri, is just on the line. Benis, a very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Midday Live. Benis, let me find out from you. Has it gotten to the point where workers would have to be laid off?
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to this issue. Thank you for your interest and your concern. Yes, as if you may recall, earlier on we announced that we're undertaking a business organization review in the light of the low crude oil prices and also other industry issues. We feel that it's our responsibility as a prudent organization to undertake this review to ensure that we can operate efficiently within our current circumstances and the current circumstances of the global industry for the benefit of all stakeholders and shareholders in our business. So this review we are undertaking across the entire Tallow Group, not just in Ghana, every Tallow location across the world, and it is across the spectrum of our business, and therefore, yes, it will affect staffing.
Benis, TV3 would always want to stay first in news. Now, I'm sure the interest of my viewers out there, they just want to know, so how many workers are you hazarding could be affected?
As at now, there is not an exact figure of how many employees will go home. And I would not like to speculate because next week we would be certain what the number is and then we will share it.
All right, are these workers going home permanently, or there is the probability that if the situation gets better, they would be called back?
Again, I would not speculate on that. What I can say is that for now, within our circumstances, there is a need to take this review. As we go along, depending on what the situation would be, we would, as a prudent organization, take a look again to see, do we increase the numbers, what do we do? So when the time comes, we will know what steps we will take.
Benis, you just want to give me a feel of the exact situation. What are the challenges currently with the falling prices in crude oil? What are some of the major challenges that it has come with that has necessitated this layoffs?
So let me put it simply this way, that previously we had, say, 100 CDs within which to operate. Our current circumstances is such that we have, say, about 50 CDs to operate with, to ensure that we run a sustainable business for all those who have a stake in it, which includes the government, the people of Ghana, employees, the shareholders who have put their monies into this business, that they get a good return for whatever investment they have made. And so we are saying that with our current circumstances, we will have to adjust the way we work, the way we go about doing our business to fit the 50 CDs instead of 100 CDs.
Benis Natri speaks for Tallow Ghana. Many thanks for joining us with all those updates. We're sincerely grateful. Tallow preparing to lay off some workers. As and when more details come up, we would be updating you on it. But if you just joined us, you're still live on Midday Live. We're bringing you up to speed on the latest business updates that we get into. Some other interesting business stories. The Director General of the Union of Africa Shippers Council, Sali Adamu Abdurrahman, Abdurrahman says Ghana and Mali are the only countries among 17 member states yet to implement the Advanced Shipment Information System. That's ASHI, of course, the controversial ASHI. The Director General, who called on the Transport Minister, said Ghana stands to lose if ASHI is not implemented on time.
The Secretary General of the Union of African Shippers Council, Saleh Adamu Abdurrahman, said it is surprising that Ghana, which is a founding member country of the Union, has not implemented the Advanced Shipment Information System, which eases pressure on import and export activities. Mr. Adamu Abdurrahman outlined some benefits of the ASHI.
Donc le BSC, MOCA, adopted a recommendation instructing us to institute the Advanced Shipment Information to address the above concerns. What are the advantages of the Advanced Shipment Information System? It permits cargo traceability. It provides information and follow-up of the cost of maritime transport services. It can be used to detect abnormal practices by ship owners. It is in particular useful for fighting fraud, for combating fraud by in the sector. So because of the information used in ahead of the arrival of a ship in the port, the Advanced Shipment Information System contributes a lot to the safety and security of goods and passengers. At the level of UAC member countries, on several occasions, thanks to the Advanced Shipment Information Systems, dangerous cargo, such as explosives, have been discovered among the cargo imported by shippers.
Transport Minister Jifar Ativo reiterated the reasons for the postponement, adding that it has not been suspended indefinitely as being speculated.
Ghana being a founding member of the Union of African Shippers Councils, I think we have even delayed in the implementation of the ASHI. We have some challenges in the implementation. We would have started implementation before your visit, but we met the stakeholders and they lamented that their members were not well informed. For that reason, we issued a release to postpone the implementation to the beginning of next month.
April 2 is the new date for the implementation of the ASHI. The postponement was as a result of some resistance from some stakeholders in the shipping industry.
Alright, so it's now time for us to talk about some state-owned enterprises. Now, if I talk about state-owned enterprises, we're talking about companies that the government is a stake in. It's like GNPC and others, Ghana Post and the like. Now, some state-owned enterprises have signed a performance contract in Accra with government. Now, the performance contract is one of the initiatives under the impulse of reforming state-owned enterprises. Those are SOEs, to, among other things, ensure improved performance.
The performance contract is to help improve service delivery and value for money of state-owned enterprises while holding boards and management of these enterprises accountable. According to Dr. Kaminta Bagsi, the State Enterprises Commission, through its periodic evaluation, will be advising government on which enterprises need to be folded up.
We want to ensure that the state-owned enterprises, that we'll be able to hold them to the targets that we have set for them to achieve in terms of effectiveness, in terms of profitability, and in terms of efficiency. Every quarter, we expect them to submit quarterly reports to State Enterprises Commission. Now, we look at the quarterly reports and then give them feedback.
Many state-owned enterprises in Ghana have been struggling due to political interference and mismanagement. According to Professor P.K. Richardson, managing Ghanaian companies successfully depends on effective leadership and effective business strategy.
By and large, people do what you inspect and not what you expect. All right? If you give, assignments to people to do, and they know that you will never come back to find out if they've done it, they know this guy will never come back, he doesn't care, I will take my time. In other words, when you give assignments to people, you must make sure that they are doing it.
Deputy Minister of Finance, Mona Kwoti, stated some state enterprises have been performing well in recent times.
Over the past 5 years, government has received dividend payments of approximately 262.5 million Ghana cedis from its investments in SOEs and JVCs. We are aware that some of the SOEs have weak balance sheets and even some liquidity crisis. Government, as the sole shareholder, will examine each case and together find ways to provide the needed resources to enable them deliver on their mandate.
The way forward for transforming all the state-owned enterprises in Ghana is to improve government relationship with SOEs, strengthen the State Enterprises Commission to insulate it from government interference, and to ensure professional selection of board.
All right, government is looking for a strategic partner into the operations of GIHOC distilleries. This is to enable Ghanaians own majority shares in the alcoholic beverage company. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Kweku Rickett-Hagan, announced this here in Accra.
A few weeks ago, government through the Ministry of Trade and Industry came under criticism for allegedly selling GIHOC distilleries. The company is 100% government-owned. The allegations have compelled officials of the Trade and Industry Ministry to visit the premises of GIHOC distilleries. The tour, according to the ministry, was part of an expansion drive to rather float 51% shares for Ghanaians instead of selling the company.
We're looking for somebody who brings distribution network, marketing, and other things that GIHOC think that they need. So it's going to take a while. You also have to employ a transaction advisor to do valuation and other things, because you need to be able to value the asset of this company. When somebody is coming in, how much does a chunk of this business cost?
Already, GIHOC Distilleries, which is one of the companies under the ministry, made a profit before tax of 4.749 million cedis in 2013. The company also paid an income tax of 1.125 million cedis to government as at the end of 2014. Interacting with management of GIHOC, the Deputy Minister spoke about plans to stabilize the exchange rate and macroeconomic indicators for businesses to grow.
It is also to help build a manufacturing economy. You are not going to get people here to come and build factories and produce if Ghanaians are not going to consume things that are produced here. So, as a country, we must consume the products, the drinks that are made here, rather than bring in the expensive wines and brandies and other things that are brought elsewhere.
This is the channel that will give you all the business advice for free. Obviously coming through from Adesawe.